about who everybody is real quick, but it's the This Weekend and the Permitless Carry story from the Tulsa World. But first, I'm Tom McCann, your amazing host with 3D Politics, David Vann with SoonerPolitics.org, David Oldham with ConstitutionalGrounds.com, and of course, David D'Ambroso. You can catch him at Dave D'Ambroso on Facebook. Contact me at Tom E. McKay on Twitter. And now the Tulsa World has a story. Remember, this weekend, you may set the clocks back, but permitless carry starts this weekend and sets the clock forward for liberty. Yes. Right. So tell us about it.
In a more polite society.
That's right.
Because you got to be polite, knowing anybody on the street has ability to end your life.
And this won't make sense to liberals. They won't even care. They disregard it. But the fact is, statistically, where there is a higher per capita gun ownership, there are precipitous declines in all violent crime, including assaults on women.
Yep.
It's the most feminist thing ever.
Yes.
The Tulsa World has a fantastic website. It was too long intermixed with all sorts of information. It's an FAQ. Here are some things you need to know, a collection from the Tulsa World. It's a survivor's guide. Permitless carry goes into effect this week. So check that out. It's a local fact. Here are some things you need to know collection. There at the Tulsa World, it's got a lot of great information about the changes in the law and how it's going to be. But I did hear that essentially you're going to be able to, when you're transporting your firearm, you can have it loaded. You can have the bullets next to or in the weapon now.
You couldn't before.
Yes.
Yeah, what a hassle. Because I always had more than one gun. And it's just like, which ones are loaded?
You got to ask the carjacker, would you mind to hand me that magazine out of the glove box?
By the way, in these show notes, we post them all on 3D Politics Live on Facebook. All of them are at the top, pinned to the top. So, including that link for the survivors.
And that was just too much for me to print out. It has that much information. This is great. Go check that out. Survivor's Guide, Tulsa World.
Yeah, now there is a lawsuit on the 30th, which is Wednesday. Judge is going to make a ruling on this effort to put a stay on this. That doesn't mean a final ruling. That just means whether there's an injunction before a final ruling. And that's coming from, I believe it's Jason Lowe, state representative in Oklahoma City. And he's
a semi-literate attorney.
He is an attorney, or at least he claims to have a diploma. And
he has to be a member of the Bar Association. Is it like state law?
Is it like one of Ron Sharp's diplomas?
So, and he's claiming when they can't get anything else, they go back to the log rolling, the more than one topic in a bill. And he said, well, you mentioned a list of weapons, so that's a whole bunch of subjects now.
Right.
And so, And
you know what the funny thing? Subjects including weapons.
Yeah, now, Nathan Dom talked about this morning. He was on Pat Campbell's radio show at 8 a.m. Yeah. You can pull that up at Pat Campbell's website. But he says, look, we listed all of these weapons that are still not allowed at the state colleges and universities. He says, and that's because it was the left that wanted us to list those things so it would be very clear what weapons you can't have in your college dorm. And I know you're going to have a problem with that just on constitutional grounds, but then again, the state paying for your college is probably not.
That's bad too.
Exactly. So
the left will always make you pay for making it.
What a mess we make.
We live in a fallen world.
The number one thing to take away from this whole thing is Jason Lowe has perjured his oath of office.
There you go.
And he does it daily when he's attacking your rights to your Second Amendment protections, and because that's literally what he's doing. He is attacking you personally because he wants these draconian and tyrannical laws to stay in place.
Well, we keep talking about these people being criminals, and they are under the highest law in our nation, and the oldest government governing by the United States of America. The United States Constitution is the oldest governing document that hasn't been essentially replaced in the world. So we're a young nation, but we're the oldest government in the world.
Yeah.
If you look at revision.
Yeah, and I have to say, the goal of the left is to make everybody dependent on the government. And being dependent on the government to protect you, i.e. police force, and not you yourself.
And it's not based on rationality or facts, but feelings. Whenever you ask, well, how am I supposed to defend myself? And the average response time is half an hour, being very generous. It might be more like an hour in some areas of police. And I've got minutes until someone with a weapon can kill me, or seconds.
Oh,
how am I supposed to? That has zero play with them. That doesn't matter. They don't care. They feel that you should not be permitted to protect yourself. Therefore, that is what they get. And our establishment rhinos have just bowed down to them and said, okay.
In the principle, it starts young. Tom, in all of the Tulsa area public schools, if somebody's punching your face in and you deign to punch him back, you get suspended from school.
Or if you scratch them while you're rolling around as you're being pummeled.
Yes.
Well, to block, you are held accountable.
Let's take a note. Just lately, there were 2 more Proud Boys who were convicted for having beaten up some Antifa protesters who had started the fight and then got bettered in the fight.
So they were
The ones
that
were charged and convicted were the people who ended the fight, not the people who began it by throwing bottles of urine and things like that
and
at them.
Concrete.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can kill you.
So they got convicted.
And who literally went around the block to start the fight.
Yeah, so they got convicted for winning a fight against a liberal. That's against the law. To win a fight against a liberal, you go to jail.
Those are the rules, and that's why the establishment of both parties hates Donald John Trump so much.
Yeah.